G-Man Boxing. Do you know what I mean? Every single live he donates. I see him on other lives donating. He's got the bag on it.
Alright, people, we got some boxing news. We got several fights announced, but the main one that we're going to talk about in this video is Anthony Joshua, Jermaine Franklin. So it's officially confirmed, April the 1st, those two are going to meet at the O2 Arena. Now, this fight, we've kind of known for a couple of weeks now that this is the fight that Joshua was going to make his comeback against. And I spoke about it with Ade a few times, and we both acknowledged the fact that it's more than likely that this fight was going to be on pay-per-view. Did we think it was pay-per-view worthy? No, but we kind of resigned ourselves, and I resigned myself to the fact that it was going to be on pay-per-view ages ago. But interestingly, it's not on pay-per-view. It's actually going to be standard DAZN. So if you have a DAZN subscription, there you go. You don't have to pay extra for this fight. You're just going to get it as part of your standard package, which I think is a good thing. It's, Jesus, when's the last time AJ fought and it wasn't on pay-per-view? He fought Dylan White. Dylan White was his first pay-per-view. That was in 2015. And then he fought Gary Cornish on... he fought Gary Cornish at the O2. I think that was in September 2015. So, 7 and a bit years. Every fight he's had since then has been on pay-per-view. That's crazy when you think about it. So this is his first fight not on pay-per-view in a long, long time. So it's going to be on standard DAZN, as I said, part of your subscription. A lot of people are not happy with this fight. And to be honest with you, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I understand that this is a comeback fight. This isn't Eddie Hearn going to be selling this fight as, AJ facing the boogeyman of the division. No one wants to fight him. After what he did to White, and many people felt he won, etc. No one wants to. AJ's taking a tough... We know it's not going to be sold like that. We know it's going to be a reasonably straightforward fight for AJ. Franklin has a couple of attributes there that early on may cause AJ an issue or two, but we know that this is a fight for AJ to go in there, look good, get his confidence back, and then onwards and upwards move on to the next opponent. More likely it's going to be Dylan White out of the winner of that fight. But look, I don't mind this fight. A lot of people are up in arms and they're saying, it's not good, etc., etc. At the end of the day, it's not on pay-per-view. It's a comeback fight, and it's not going to get sold as, I don't think Eddie Hearn is going to be brazen enough to do what he did with Conor Benn, Chris Algieri, and sell this as, a top level welterweight. Top 15, arguably top 10 welterweight in Chris Algieri. He's not going to do that. I don't think he is anyway. So with this fight, it's a comeback fight for Joshua. It should be an easy enough, straightforward, run-of-the-mill performance. Go in there, couple of round job, demolition, there you go, see you later. And again, if you have DAZN, it's just going to be on standard DAZN. So I can't really see why anyone is complaining with this. I don't mind it as an opponent. Jermaine Franklin, I think, again, you're talking about a guy who's had back-to-back losses. 3 of his last 5 fights he's lost, and he's just had a mental breakdown in the ring. His confidence is probably... You take that sponge, you put it right down to the bottom of that fishbowl. That's where it is now. So it's going to have to try and come to the surface eventually. So he needs a good few comeback fights, truth be told, in my opinion. But DAZN also announced that they have their schedule lined up, okay? So the first fight we have on DAZN's schedule is obviously... Now, I don't know the whole cards in a nutshell. Obviously, I don't know what every fight on every card is going to be. But we're starting the DAZN schedule with Woods Lara. I think that's in Saturday fortnight. So that's good. That's going to be a great fight. Estrada versus Pharaoh, which is going to be on March the 4th. This one I'm like... This one right here is Liam Smith versus a guy called Pavel Stefani. Stefani, I think, is 18-0 with 1 draw. And honestly, I had a quick look at his box rec. He's ranked, I think, 30th in the world on box rec in the light heavyweight division. And one of these guys where there's literally... there is literally no one whose name I recognize. There's literally... His whole record is just like, who the hell is that? Who the hell is that? Patterson versus Jenkins. I was going to call him... It's not Robert Patterson, but I can't remember what his actual first name is. But I've seen him fight before. I've not really been sold on Patterson, truth be told. Obviously, that's going to be on March the 18th. So March is actually a big enough month. It's March the 4th for Estrada, Smith on the 11th, and then Patterson versus Jenkins on the 18th. The 1st of April is Joshua Franklin. It's going to be interesting to see what the undercard for that is like. Rodriguez versus Gonzalez on the 8th, which is going to be a very good fight. Looking forward to that one. And then obviously we have Rakhimov versus Cordina on April the 22nd. Cordina has a chance to win his title back, which it was BS ever stripping him, and it is going to be in Wales. I just wanted to make sure it was in Wales. It was BS that he was ever stripped. They've announced a few of the fights that are going to be on the undercard of Callum Smith, Johnny Fisher, Robbie Davis Jr., Whittaker Hart. I'm just looking. Campbell Hatton. Oh, Campbell Hatton. Oh, peep. Campbell Hatton stopped it. Oh, yeah. Rihanna Dixon, I'm assuming that is. So, yeah, that's going to be the Callum Smith. Liam Smith is the one we've all been talking about. That's going to be the Callum Smith card. So, the Zone have announced those fights that are up and coming. So, let me know your thoughts on their schedule. You know, obviously, the Callum Smith one was a bit of a kind of downer. I thought they would have got... I would have been happier if they got someone like Lyndon Arter in. At least that way, you kind of... You know he'll give it a go. Whereas this guy, you worry, would he be the kind of guy who just fold over? Because you know some of these guys are, when you see... And especially when you see, like, literally nobody on their record that you even remotely have the faintest notion of. And judging by his record, he doesn't appear to be a particularly big puncher either. So you're kind of looking at that and thinking... Are they just going down the safety road and just Baturbia next? Possibly. But in terms of everything else, look, Joshua versus Franklin, that's the one we're talking about. On the Zone, it's not going to be pay-per-view, which I think is a good thing. Like I said, I think everyone else was. I was saying in the videos prior to this that it's probably going to be pay-per-view. Should it be? No, but it is what it is. So we're not having to pay for it, thank God. I did see, now someone wants, I'm not saying this is fact, right? So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But I've seen a lot of people who were claiming when this was broken, that the Zone are about to increase their monthly subscription in the UK. So obviously when the Zone came around first in 2020, it was £2 a month. We knew that wasn't going to last. We all knew that. It's £8 a month currently. Now, a few people were saying, and again, this could be hearsay. I certainly haven't seen anything on my app, and I've not got any emails from them stating it. But some are claiming that the Zone is about to go up to £19.99 a month. 20 quid a month for all intents and purposes. That is a bit pricey. I'm not going to lie. Well, that's very pricey. Considering, it really is just boxing at the minute. Yes, they have other sports, but they're very obscure. And if you want boxing, there is fights on the Zone, yes, and you've obviously got Golden Boy, but is there enough to justify 20 quid? I think right now the 8 quid a month is perfect as it is now. Obviously, I know that's not going to be like that forever, but I would have thought if it's going to go to 20 quid, you would have not just more fights, you would have other sports that, at least, top sports, if you know what I mean, like darts or... I know, obviously, Premier League, Champions League football is the big thing. If the Zone can get the rights to that, they're really in business. But if they can't get that at the minute, you're looking at sports like darts, F1, rugby and stuff like that. If they could get something like that, you would justify it more and say, all right, fair enough, 20 quid, yeah, well, I'm getting F1 on it, I'm getting dart, fair enough. But if it's staying as it is now and nothing's coming on, and again, this is what people are reporting. I haven't seen anything to say this is true. I've seen nothing from the Zone or anything like that to say it. On the apps and emails, anything like that. So take that with a grain of salt. But I did see a few people reporting that. Again, not sure if it's true. I don't know. I honestly don't know. 8 quid a month is fine by me for the time being. Let me know your thoughts on this fight in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the whole thing. The cards that the Zone and Matchroom have announced, and obviously Franklin versus Joshua. Are you unhappy with this fight? At the end of the day, you're not having to pay any extra. I'm not trying to sell it. Some people are going to be like, you're clearly on the Zone. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to sell it, but let me know your thoughts. If you have the Zone, you're not paying any extra. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Thanks again for the Hit Company for sponsoring this video. As always, appreciate you guys very much. Peace.